recently I was reading about this new way of deploying AKS, which it definitely gave me some Heroku vibes here. All right, so it's called AKS Automatic. Now, what is it? Azure manages your cluster configuration, your nodes, scaling, security, and other pre-configured settings. Now, right off the bat, I don't know about all of you, but that sounds a little bit scary to me to give full control. I can see where that could work, especially for organizations that don't want to bring on or hire or train Kubernetes experts. I don't know how well this type of implementation can go from a compliance perspective for various organizations, especially when it comes to security and just overall giving that type of control over to your cloud provider. I don't know. I'll let you kind of think about that in terms of if it would actually work for your organization or not. But that could be a big uh-oh for a lot of organizations. But let's just go ahead and take a look at what we see here, right? AKS Automatic. Use automated deployments to containerize applications from source control, create Kubernetes manifests, and continuous integration and CI/CD pieces. GitHub Actions, bring your own pipeline. See, again, definitely gives me some Heroku vibes here. And default manage Prometheus, optional manage Prometheus. Okay, so again, we're getting a lot of pre-configured control, right? So that's more or less what AKS Automatic is giving us. Let's go ahead and take a look at how we can implement this. So if we scroll down here, essentially what we have to do is we have to make sure that you have this AKS preview extension. If you don't, and then you're going to have to register these flags here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click copy, head over to VS Code. All right, I just have a terminal up here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste that in. Just head back over to the web browser really quick. All right, I think that's it. Now, if I go to the Azure portal, I click on Kubernetes and I click create, I now have this automatic Kubernetes cluster button here. So if I click on this, a couple of different options that I can put in here. So the resource group that I want it to exist in, the name, test auto 01. I can specify the region, the automatic updates, access control for authentication and authorization. Azure Monitor, I can set up some observability here with Container Insights, which is awesome. Cost preset, onboarding to cost optimization settings requires the use of managed identity. So you can specify that here. Manage Prometheus, which that's on by default. Manage Grafana, on by default. Alerts, on by default. So the good thing is it's actually managing all of this for you. Well, I mean, you know, manage Prometheus, manage Grafana, that's already managed for you. But for Kubernetes Automatic, it's just enabling all these for you by default. So you have your monitoring and observability, which is good. That way, you know, even though it's managed for you, you can still get an understanding of what's happening within the environment. And then you click review and create. It's going to go through the validation here. Pre-flight validation check for resources. And resource group failed. Okay. Could not be completed as it results in exceeding approved course quota. Additional deployments. Okay, so we'd have to up the need here. So standard DSV2. All right, so we should now be able to create our cluster. Let's see. May have to just restart the process here. All right, I gotta ask for 4 more. I read that wrong. I thought I needed 20, but I actually need 24. So let's go ahead and do that request again. So let me just go do that request again really quick. All right, so now I should be good to go with this. Let's see. All right, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and click create. All right, and that's been deployed successfully. So if we go ahead and go to the resource here, we should see our cluster now up and running. Kubernetes version 1.28.9. We didn't have to deal with any of that. We have the API server address, all the managed configurations here, and we could just connect to it just like we would any other Kubernetes cluster.